right, welcome everybody to our second episode of Breaking the Chain. We're coming from beautiful Murrells Inlet, South Carolina today, seafood capital of South Carolina. This is a little coastal town about 15 minutes south of Myrtle Beach in Georgetown County, right on the Georgetown County, Horry County line. And what we're going to talk about today, some real estate here in the area. This is a great area. I'll show you some homes on my website through the MLS actually, coastalcarolinalife.net. And we'll talk about some blockchain stuff and digital assets as well. A lot going on today. The blockchain and digital asset market is very interesting. It's very complex, very interesting as well. Actually, I just finished 3 fields of study in blockchain through Wharton Business School, University of New York at Buffalo, and INSEAD. Pretty complex stuff, actually. Classes, I took them online, did pretty well, very well actually, and learned a lot about the blockchain industry and some stuff about crypto and where everything is headed, and a lot of the stuff that a lot of the people on the YouTube say is very, very true. Like, for example, digital asset investor, Crypto Arian, Brad Kimes, Sam I Am, Working Money Channel, Jungle Inc. What those guys are saying is exactly what the academic institutions are saying as well. So we're in for I think we'll be in for a really good surprise within the next few months, year or so. It's like anything else in life is going to take time, but we'll go ahead and see what's going on today in the world of blockchain first.
Good evening. How's everybody doing out there? Today, so talk a little bit about some crypto blockchain storage. What's some of the best ways you can actually store your digital assets to keep them safe? One of the things I recommend highly is going to getting a safe deposit box at a bank because I mean, even though you keep your private keys in your house, you still want to have an extra copy somewhere else. You know, God forbid your house burned down or someone breaks into your home or what have you. You just don't know. And it's also very important to keep copies with or let some of your family members know, like your spouse or parents or so forth. You know, if something were to happen to you, where you can go in and get those digital assets out. Because a lot of people don't do that. Like, for example, Matthew Mellons, who owned a half a billion of XRP, and nobody had never be able to get that out because no one has that private keys for that. And I'll tell you a true story that happened to a lady I know here at the beach back in 2013. Her husband was actually bought some Bitcoin. He was using it to play video games and so forth, online stuff. And what happened? He actually gave some to his employees at a Christmas party for a gift, and he gave them the private keys. And he gave them really it was a lot, like 100 each, 100 Bitcoin. And he told them to hold on to it. Said it might be worth something one day. And no one really knew what it was, you know. He told them they could use it to play games with or substitute for cash if they wanted to. He did it just as a little novelty gift. Every one of those people, it was probably about 15, maybe 20 people, took those private keys and threw them in a trash can. Well, 2017, when it went up to over $21,000 per coin, uh, they were calling him left and right, crying, trying to see if he had those private keys, and he told them he didn't have them. And each one of those people, that's probably I don't know how much it really was, but you're looking at probably $250,000 that's gone. They could have cashed out. They would have had a very good Merry Christmas with that, but every one of them threw it away, laughed at it. So something you have to keep, you have to guard. And I know it's on a ledger; it's hard to get a hold of, but you have to save. You have to save those the best way you can. One thing I want to emphasize: do not keep your coins on exchanges. Exchanges get hacked all the time, and once they get hacked, you're not going to get them back. Best way to keep them safe is actually on a ledger, Nano X. You have an Nano S and an X, which is the newest one now. I've had one for over a year, and I've kept all my digital assets stored, safely stored, and nobody can get it. Only you have the private keys for this, and you have to put the right code in. And it's a cold storage. You have to put it to your laptop or to your device to actually transfer and approve that. Nobody else can do that. Only you have control, and you have to put a code in each time you buy or sell, or each time you sell, you have to put a code in. And it has I think it's a 24, 25 private keys you have to write down, passcodes. So that's what you want. You want this right here. I have a link at the bottom of my website for this. Another way to recommend to buy digital assets. The way I would buy them would actually be going to Coinbase. Coinbase is based out of San Francisco. It's been around for a long time. Fees are a little bit higher than some of the other places you can buy and sell. But the good thing about Coinbase is that's actually a live person you can talk to. So, for example, if you're going to sell, say, a big order, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000, you want to cash out. It's linked to your bank account like other exchanges are. But with Coinbase, you're actually going to you can talk to somebody on the phone. I've done this before. Why the transaction goes through to make sure it went through, and that is what you want. They're really trustworthy. I haven't had any issues whatsoever with Coinbase. It's been a great company to work with. And as far as you guys, some of you talk about day trading, the Securities and Exchange Commission about a month ago, they're going to treat digital assets next year just like stocks. So you're going to have long-term capital gains tax, short-term capital gains tax. Long-term, if you hold over a year, which is about 20%, 15% maybe. If you do a short sell, probably within a year, you'll get about 30, 35%, depending on what you bought it at. So you have to keep that in mind as well. A lot of people, they get burned really bad, especially if they buy and sell and short sell and don't save. They keep on, buying more and what have you and lose. They don't have that money to actually pay their taxes at the end of the year if they actually made gains on that, but they've actually wasted it. So it's like anything else. You have to keep everything written down. Keep it written down what you bought, when you bought it. Keep those records. I mean, keep some on paper. I mean, I know everything's on distributed ledger, but still, you want to have records to look at. So when you go to the IRS to file taxes, you can pull them out, and it shows when you bought, when you sold. Very important. Okay, now getting into some digital asset news today. I was looking at Ripple, XRP. Markets are still down. It's going to be that way. And with XRP, the MoneyGram actually is going quite well. We just started that. And the good thing about MoneyGram is, for those of you who don't know, MoneyGram has started to use XRP. XRP pledged $50 million to MoneyGram to acquire about 10% of the company with more money in the near future if the MoneyGram needs it. And what it does, it allows you to, for example, send money from the United States to Mexico, and it transfers over from US dollars to pesos in a matter of seconds. And they're opening other corridors throughout the world for this. The Philippines, I believe, from other countries, not really for sure, but there's a bunch of other countries they're working with. It's groundbreaking technology right here. I mean, we haven't had, as far as money transfer, it takes a while to transfer from bank to bank. That's what XRP is used for. If Bank of America wants to transfer money to, say, if you have a Bank of America account, you want to transfer to Wells Fargo. Well, you're going to have to wait about 5 days to get that money. I don't care if it's right across the street. I mean, you're better off to take it out and put it in yourself. I mean, it's, so antiquated with the transfer system we've been using through SWIFT, which goes back to the 70s, and that hasn't changed yet. So that's something that definitely needs to be changed. Excuse me, pardon me. But I think XRP has great potential. Like I said, people give it fun, what have you. But anytime you have something good, even with Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, they all went through the same phase. I remember the CEO of Sears laughing at Amazon a few years ago, like in 2004, 2005. Like he was laughing, calling Amazon a joke. And I only know of actually two Sears in the Carolinas left. There could be more. There's one in Myrtle Beach, one in Raleigh. The rest of them have gone. Kmart's part of Sears, the same scenario. They've gone too. You basically have Walmart, Target, and your drugstores, and your dollar stores, your Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar. That's what you have right now. And Amazon has taken a lot of big box retailers out. So hold on to it. I mean, I just say hold on to this stuff. I'm not a day trader. I look at the prognosis for long term. And another thing with actually Ripple, they're looking at smart contract platform. They announced this actually during Swell, which is bigger than what a lot of people think. Because with smart contracts, you can use those. For example, we always use real estate as an example. You want to sell property. Well, instead of going to a closing attorney, dealing with all this paperwork, it takes 3 weeks, inspectors and so forth, you would have a closing attorney, an inspector, realtor. They all would be the lender. They all would be in the same contract, where everything can be done, hopefully in the future, in a matter of minutes. You don't have to wait 3 hours, to see if the closing process is going through. You're going to have what you call a digital signature on that. And I'll show you an example. Ethereum, I'm familiar with that. I've actually done a little Ethereum programming. This is what the Ethereum smart contract looks like. It's called Remix. You can actually go in and make different contracts. You have different ones right here. I have saved right here. For example, this is auction contract right here. Like if you have X number of people, they're trying to do something, you actually go in, and what you would do with the project that we had, we actually entered information within here. A lot of you computer programmers and coders, you know what I'm talking about. And start code, end code, and a variety of different ones for different functions that you're going to do. And hopefully the XRP Ripple smart contracts would be more user friendly than what we have here. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know much about what XRP is going to do with smart contracts besides the announcement that was, just made. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. And the last thing I was going to put up here, those of you I know you remember Back to the Future, Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox. He goes back to 1955. He's kind of, insinuating what's going to happen. He kind of invents the skateboard, invents rock and roll by playing Chuck Berry on stage. And people are like, what are you talking about? And kind of asking the kid, like for example, they were watching a Jackie Gleason movie. He goes, "This is a rerun. I've seen this before." And like, what's a rerun? And sometimes when you talk about digital assets, blockchain in the future, a lot of people in today's society, they'll look at you like that. I'm actually in charge of the Grand Strand Blockchain Club, and I had a meetup at Barnes and Noble here in Myrtle Beach not long ago. Only a handful of people, a few people showed up just a little while just to see what it was all about. But I always joke with everybody. I said if it was probably the Honey Boo Boo Mama June fan club, half the town of Myrtle Beach would have shown up. But you're going to have people using blockchain in the future that won't even know they're using it, kind of like Microsoft Windows. I know people who laughed at that when it came out. Who's going to need that? I have a typewriter. I don't need Microsoft Windows. Well, guess what? Everybody uses it, whether you know it or not. All the systems, most of your systems, operate on Microsoft Windows. I think you may see XRP actually do the same. You can see that happen in the future. So it's going to be interesting. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys have a great day. And we'll actually talk about, we're here in Murrells Inlet area, actually. And if you want to look at some great real estate properties, guys, just go to my site, coastalcarolinalife.net. Oops, spelled that kind of wrong. There we go. And you can actually go in and to the MLS area I have on my page right here, and it shows a variety of properties that are available right now in this area. Like I said, this area is about 15 minutes south of Myrtle Beach, And we have some coastal properties and some marsh properties. This is where the South Carolina Low Country begins at if you're coming down from the north on Highway 17. That's where it starts at. And you have affordable homes here. Now, these homes are only 10 minutes from the actual beach. You can be at the beach in 10 minutes. $210,000, that's a great deal. If you like mobile homes, we have those here too as well. And then we have the more high-end homes too. You have homes that actually, going for $350,000, on the ocean. Really nice homes. So townhomes too as well. And for an ocean resort, these taxes and properties are actually affordable. If you go to California, you're going to pay way more than that for some of these houses. But yeah, any information on that, just go to coastalcarolinalife.net. And like I said, my email address, americanrealestateref@gmail.com. Any questions, blockchain, just go to breakingthechainusa@gmail.com there as well. And if you guys have a great evening, and I will talk to you later. Thank you.